President Biden at the war grounds,
the people of the world to know where the United States stands,
showing solidarity to Israel as the death toll rises. Complications of the Capitol building continue.
We're going to get to the votes.
After a rejection from a representative leads to another House Speaker vote. Caught on camera.
Thank God that they didn't hit one of my kids.
As a car airbornes to an unusual area. And how artificial intelligence can save more lives. With early detection of a specific type of cancer. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Kenneth Bueno.
I'm Kelly Sanchez. Today is Wednesday, October 18th, 2023.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
President Biden is wheels down in Israel and making a push for peace. The president met today with Israel's prime minister and its war leaders in an effort to protect civilian lives.
President Biden told Israel's prime minister that after looking at video from the Department of Defense, he believes the Gaza hospital bombing was done by the other side. After the bilateral meeting in Tel Aviv, President Biden attended a meeting of the Israeli War Council.
As we proceed in this war, Israel will do everything it can to keep civilians out of harm's way. We have asked them and will continue to ask them to move to safer areas. We'll continue to work with you, Mr. President, to assure that the minimal requirements are met, and we'll continue to work together to get our hostages out. Mr. President, the road to victory will be long and hard, but united in purpose and with a deep sense of justice and the unbreakable spirit of our soldiers and our people, Israel will prevail. Thank you, Mr. President.
Well, thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. In the wake of Hamas's appalling terrorist assault, it was brutal, inhumane, almost beyond belief what they did. This cabinet came together and standing strong, standing united, and I want you to know you're not alone.
Biden's trip to Tel Aviv is a historic one. It marks the first trip to Israel by an American president during a time of war.
2 weeks and counting since Representative Kevin McCarthy was ousted as House Speaker, and the vacancy has yet to be filled. As CNN's John Lawrence reports, Republican Representative Jim Jordan has a second vote for Speaker scheduled for 11 this morning.
Representative Jim Jordan is hoping the second time is the charm.
So we're going to keep working, and we're going to get to the votes.
The Republican from Ohio is seeking more support in his quest to be the next Speaker of the House. His first bid fell short Tuesday after 20 Republicans voted against him, including GOP Rep. Ken Buck of Colorado.
Jim Jordan has talked about defunding the FBI. He's talked about some things that are fairly radical to most Americans, the folks in the middle who we need to win if we're going to win elections.
Republican Representative Kevin McCarthy was voted out as House Speaker earlier this month, and until a successor is named, the chamber is basically in limbo, unable to consider legislation, including government funding. And the threat of another potential government shutdown is only a month away.
The idea that the Republicans kind of hit rock bottom and are nominating Jim Jordan for Speaker, I mean, Jesus Christ, Halloween's coming early.
Jordan can only afford to lose 4 Republican votes if all Democrats are present. And House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says his caucus is in talks to reopen the House with, quote, traditional Republicans.
There are a whole host of other Republicans who are respected on our side of the aisle. Jim Jordan is not one of them.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
An analysis of DNA solved a decade-old case in Florida. Teresa Scalf was murdered inside her Lakeland home in 1968. Investigators at the time found blood on the scene that did not belong to Scalf. Fast forward to 2022, Polk County sheriffs teamed up with private labs to find the connection of Donald Douglas, a neighbor of Scalf. Polk County was relieved to solve the cold case.
Caught on camera, a speeding car going airborne into a southwest Florida canal. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt. Reporter Michael Hudak from WINK has the video and more.
What do you usually do on a Sunday?
They're blooming idiot, and I hope that it was worth it.
Watch football, go visit the Lord.
And they better thank God that they didn't hit one of my kids.
Well, this car visited a canal.
And as pissed off as my husband was, he almost jumped in that canal to cut him out.
And the Cape Coral Canal crash was caught on camera.
My husband happened to be outside smoking, and next thing I know, he's taken off down the street.
And not just this camera.
And Mercedes hit their brakes in front of my house. He never hit the brakes.
But this camera, too. It all happened on Sunday morning when the day of the Lord turned into the day of deplorable behavior. This Mercedes raced a Dodge Challenger down Northwest 17th Terrace in Cape Coral, and this woman's camera caught them racing. But see, here's the thing. This street turns at almost a complete 90-degree angle. Take a look. So since the Dodge Challenger didn't brake soon enough, there was unfortunately only one place left for it to go.
He went airborne straight through.
This airborne Jason Bourne went flying into the canal. Neighbors quickly came to the rescue, dislodging the Dodge driver and bringing him to safety.
Another guy jumped into the canal and cut him out. When he cut him out, he took off.
And the airborne Jason Bourne probably felt like he was born again.
Yeah, it was that bad.
That was Michael Hudak from WINK reporting. At this time, there's no word on whether the driver is facing any charges.
More than 64,000 Americans will be diagnosed with pancreatic cancer this year, according to estimates from the American Cancer Society. And many times the disease isn't diagnosed until it's too late. But as CNN's Mandy Gaither reports, researchers are looking into how artificial intelligence could help with early detection.
It's expected to become the second leading cause of cancer death in the U.S. by 2030. And many times, pancreatic cancer is a silent killer.
Patients typically present at a stage where the cancer has really won the battle, so to speak.
Dr. Ajit Goenka with Mayo Clinic says nearly 70% of patients with pancreatic cancer face death within the first year of diagnosis. That's why early detection is critical. But he says many times small pancreatic cancers aren't detected on CT scans until it's advanced to an incurable stage.
That effectively makes imaging as a final frontier in our quest for early cancer detection.
Goenka and other researchers used imaging data sets from past CT scans of those diagnosed with pancreatic cancer to create an artificial intelligence model that they hope will help aid in early detection of small tumors that are currently difficult to detect.
We are very happy with what we have achieved so far, but we are also mindful of the fact that we still have a lot of work remaining to be done.
The models are being tested, and Goenka says eventually they'd like to get to a point where they can present their technology for review by the FDA.
We are prepared to fight a long battle to be able to overcome early detection of pancreas cancer.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
School book fairs are now undergoing some changes after several states passed laws. Scholastic announced that book fairs will now have separate sections for books covering topics such as race, gender, and sexuality. The company produced a new catalog titled Share Every Story, Celebrate Every Voice. All 50 states in the U.S. have ordered books from the catalog that spans 64 titles.
The Walt Disney Company is celebrating its 100th anniversary this week, and one store is showing off the magic.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
P-Town is always with me, no matter where I go.
A Grammy-winning rapper is honored in her hometown and donates to her roots. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day,
millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together,
we should still make an effort.
To get to know each other
on a deeper level. Father,
cosplayer,
mentor,
actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Giving back, an award-winning musician is making a difference in a city that means a lot to her. Residents in one city are filled with hope this morning after Grammy-winning rapper Missy Elliott donated $50,000 on Missy Elliott Day.
It was yesterday in Portsmouth, Virginia. The award-winning musician remembered her roots and decided to donate money to help families dealing with paying rent. The mayor of Portsmouth said a donation like this will make a difference in the lives of the city's residents. Missy Elliott wanted to spread hope for those struggling to make ends meet when it comes to housing, which she says she experienced at one point in her life.
I feel like, as artists, we celebrated a lot, so instead of it being about me, I wanted it to be about the people here in my hometown.
But this isn't the first time the rapper is honored in her city. Last year, the governor recognized the first Missy Elliott Day with a parade to change one of the streets to her name and gave her the key to the city.
Walt Disney Company is celebrating its 100th anniversary this week. If you're looking for a piece of Mickey Mouse history, the Lakeland Antique Mall near Orlando has a variety of options for you. You can even buy a real Mickey costume. Vendors have a special relationship with Disney, allowing them to sell historic items. You're watching Newsbreak, and we're coming right back.
Really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes.
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Go get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by PantherTech in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Well, that's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Kenneth Bueno.
I'm Kelly Sanchez. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.